sure. And we'll see how far Zomba, I mean, Zomba, in terms of seeding, one of the players most likely, if you're just looking at seeding, to qualify for Watch the Throne, right?
Yeah, and also to make it into the top 8 in general. I'll put it to you this way, right? Like, they had the fantasy bracket this weekend, and one of the very difficult decisions I had to make was, doing my initial team, was do I put Zomba or Light on my team? Which, you know, you go back a few months, you'd be like, well, that's not even a question. Like, of course it's Light, but Zomba has been that good lately that he's even like that safer pick when it comes to that, because he's not only been reaching very good heights, but he has also been so consistent lately as well, and I think we'll get to see a lot of that in a matchup that he has played a few times.
Ooh, there's a Saturn already getting plucked out here, but there goes exit stage right. Zomba with the top in hand. Ooh, gets the jump Z-drop out of shield, but doesn't convert into it too much. And this is going to be the battle of items. Both these characters being able to pull these items here. Oh, and such a low percent KO. Umeki not even reaching 100% after the hit there.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this the other day when Umeki was playing, that Peach is not necessarily a very light character. She just happens to be very floaty. She's a little bit closer to midweight, actually, but even then, I don't care how heavy you are. That Zomba back air, right? The Zombair.
The Zombair.
El Diablo, right? he will find a way. Life will always find a way to have you get hit by a Zomba back air, and exactly what we just saw at a very early percent. So now the onus is on Umeki to bring this one back, and this is something that Peach can struggle with against heavy characters, as you get up to these 150+ % and question, how is this stock even going to get taken?
Yeah, and it's just funny because we've seen all those clips, all those comebacks. Oh, no double jump coming out from Umeki here. That's a huge, huge SD. And now down to the last stock here. You can definitely clean out this first stock or not. Oh my goodness, no rage. The forward air is still not enough cross stage.
That move got nerfed hard back in the day. And it's now more of a timing mix-up than anything else, right? Where, you know, you can threaten the nair and, maybe a down air or stuff like that, or a grounded move, but your opponent tries to air dodge past that or something, and then the forward air is right there to cover it perfectly. But Umeki, on top of Zomba, does land that side special to take the first stock, but plenty of distance to make up. Now, Umeki is one of the most consistent players in the world at landing those turnip combos. If he has a turnip in hand, he can take you a long way. Without it, though, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, not getting the double flow cancel nair combo after the down tilt here. Umeki dropping a big opening, and yeah, I mean, if you keep dropping these combos, Zomba's going to take full advantage of that and just kind of clean out this game number 1 here. But we have seen Umeki, if you're able to close out, goes for the Z-drop grab there. Turn back actually connects. I love that option select.
Pretty safe, right? Even if you whiff it, you go, okay, well, there's still probably going to be some amount of hits done from this turnip, and I can just reset the situation. And that's something that Peach is so good at, right? Or Daisy in this case. That Daisy is really good at, is going into these situations where she can be low committal and reset situations, but no chance to take back control of that game. Zomba just took those first couple of stocks way too quickly and was just able to play damage to damage games, station to station, until game 1 was over.
Yeah, and the thing about Rob down tilt, I mean, obviously one of the best moves in Rob's toolkit, but against these floatier matchups, we see Zomba. Against fast followers, you get more tech chase scenarios, right? But against these floaty characters, we actually see the boosted F tilt, right? Go ahead, go for that pivot boost on that F tilt, and it's a pretty solid move, has enough knockback to at least take out Peach in that scenario and close that game out. So beautiful stuff coming out from Zomba, going for the down tilt into the pivot boost F tilt.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier, right? The top-level players using everything in a character's toolkit. Because, you know, a lot of high-level Robs would get into that situation and they'd go, okay, now how do I get into, you know, one of my big kill moves, right? How do I reset for a gyro here? But no, Zomba knows, okay, after I land this move, all it takes is that forward tilt. It's going to be enough to take that stock, especially with the blast zones not being particularly far from the ledges on that stage. And they're about to get even closer. I'm a little surprised to see Rob get taken to Town and City.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have a lot of space to operate with, and of course, those the gyro combos into the spinny move.
Yeah,
very good. the Rob copter, if you will. And especially, you know, Town and City and Smash, we're going to have those smaller side blast zones. But guess what other character can do item throw spam into side B? Well, it's Peach. So both these characters, we'll see if any of these players are going to be able to have those setups here on deck. But saw a lot of neutral. And again, that game 1, usually trying to feel the other player out, right? And then try to maybe line up these bigger openings for games 2 and 3.
They hit my Bob Ross music. I'm about to...
Who picked this song?
Go check out the guy. If somebody picked that, I'm going to be a little bit mad. But is that... if that's Umeki's strategy is to put Zomba to sleep, like it's Betty Bye time, then you know what not. You know, maybe he's looking out for the people at home in Japan, because right now, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 1 a.m. He's trying to help them fall asleep.
Oh man, Umeki coming out with all the strategies, even the song counter picks, right? Got to have it on deck. Everyone's got their favorite music to play Smash to.
Yeah, and you know what? If playing chill, playing relaxed is your vibe, I can totally see Umeki being that kind of player too, but look at him fire right back against Zomba, bringing things back to even, and this is exactly where he's scary. Turnip in hand, he can take these combos so far. 91%, and like you said, Charles, it can end with that side B pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best combo starters you can get as Peach or Daisy is getting a recatch up air when you catch the turnip and then go into up air, especially if you get the last hit of the up air. Oh my goodness. Or you can drag down, whatever you prefer, right? You got a lot of options with that multi-hit up air here. See Zomba try to catch up in terms of damage.
Well, and the stylistic difference of the combos too, that normally if you watch Mudace, for example, he'll try to stick those combos with the drag downs and keep it close to the ground as Umeki is able to take that stock, take the lead very solidly against Zomba, and continue the combos almost into the blast zone with just a tiny, if he had rage, that was a dead Zomba.
Yeah. And even, I mean, maybe one more rep of the item throw into the side B, that could have been it as well. Gyro in hand, but it doesn't matter. Umeki has such a huge lead. Like, you just got all the damage regardless, right?
This is looking just a mirror image of game one, just on the other side, right? It's flipped that now Umeki gets to do exactly what Zomba did, which is to just go station to station, play hit for hit, tit for tat, and eventually you're going to get something that's going to get that KO, just as long as you don't overcommit to anything. And you know, if he's at 161, you didn't take him with that back air, we call that a happy little reset.
Oh, the turn up, and again, Umeki getting a lot of these sour hits, but it doesn't really matter. Eventually, the back throw, eventually the nair or the bear, one of these stray arrows are going to connect here for Umeki. Answering back, Town and City 2 stock. And Umeki was the one getting the combos.
Yeah, relentless with the backers, and yeah, the combos especially. I mean, he's going to land those on any stage regardless, but I mean, the way that that game almost ended, like a forward air at 75% post-hit. Yeah, I thought that move was anemic now, but Umeki, again, I guess showing off that, hey, kind of break the mold, right? Don't think that, oh, Town and City, good stage for Rob, I can't go anywhere. No, it's a great stage for me too.
Yeah, and I mean, both these characters very classic in terms of just, they've been meta relevant since the launch of Ultimate, right? And again, both these characters, very fantastic. You can play them in fundamental ways, but they also have incredibly high ceilings, right? In terms of, if we think about TAS and their punish game, if you're able to go far and beyond. I mean, Zomba more on the fundamental side of Rob, right? Anathema known.
Team fundies.
Right. And not saying that the other Robs don't have those fundies, but Anathema in terms of punish game, probably the best Rob to do it.
Probably the best Rob there, yeah. But and Zomba has enough to get it done, right? Like he has a good enough combo game where he can play at the heights that he does while being able to focus a little bit more on, you know, how am I going to play this matchup and how am I going to keep things like a little bit safer, right? Like it's not just about the threat. I think that's one of those things is that Zomba plays, I think, the character matchup a little bit more, whereas players like Anathema with that crazy combo game try to play the player a little bit more.
Right, because you just need that one hit.
Right, exactly. And so, you know, I catch one mistake, you're dead, whereas Zomba's like, I'm just going to make fewer mistakes and get good punishes instead of great ones.
Here's the pressure here. Umeki already taking quite a bit of damage, 143 and counting here. The air dodge getting caught, and wow, Zomba dipping real low, but the up air, even at like about stage level, is still enough to get the job done.
It was a bait onto Umeki too that, I mean, just about anybody would fall for. Rob jumps at you off stage, you assume the aerial's going to come, but that air dodge came out, Zomba drifted under him and basically said, if you do anything other than fast fall air dodge to the ledge, I'm going to hit you with this up air, and that's going to be enough to take the stock. Zomba right now looking for some dirty combos to try to get Umeki off stage, but great spacing with that parasol is going to keep him alive.
Okay, going high with the side B, able to get the punish here, and now Zomba racking up a good amount of damage here on PS2. We're getting all the different stages here. We got full DSR on lock for Port Priority 8, so unless these players gentlemen to the same stage over and over again, you're almost going to get the entire stage list.
Right, and that's one of the things I like about rule sets that are like a little bit more restrictive about where you can go, is that you get to see people have to adapt to more, you know, many different stages. Personally, when I was playing in bracket, I loved this rule set, but right now it's all about these players right now. Zomba up 3, stocks to 1. I mean, just, again, mirror images flipping back and forth. This looks just picture perfect like we saw in game 1.
Yeah, is this game 1?
Yeah, no, like, exactly. Like, Zomba's just fully in control. Umeki's working really hard to take that first stock, and I think part of it might just be how darn big this stage is.
Okay, that time not going to throw the item, or actually just dropping the item there to get that forward air. Okay, Zomba with the turn up. Oh, just swinging on through here. But Zomba does have an entire stock lead. Ooh, trying to go for the reset, but Zomba just disengaging with the air dodge down. Umeki maybe trying to hunt down that double jump.
With no turn up in hand right now, I mean, even if he is trying to get those, call-outs in the disadvantage, right, where Umeki's really going to thrive is playing that player game and getting the big conversions. And, I mean, so far, I mean, he's just been matching Zomba on that pace in neutral as this game has gone on, especially on this stock. Umeki looking great. Not able to get the conversion into the forward air, but the ledge trap continues nonetheless until morale improves, and now it does. The Japanese crowd here is lighting up for Umeki, who is bringing this down to last stock where it looked like it was just entirely in Zomba's favor.
Yeah, Umeki, an incredible player and one of the main TOs of Japan as well. So, I mean,
if I'm not mistaken,
yes,
right?
yes. Yeah. So, very, very cool. I mean, the fact that a TO is this good at the game and has been a top player in Japan for this long, I mean, shout out to Umeki doing so much for the community and also being nice with it on the sticks.
You know, me being from Dallas and with Burr, the Kazuya player being my TO, I usually go, aha, yeah, my TO can beat up your TO. I don't know about Umeki because he's real good, but Zomba says,
my goodness.
Oh my god, Umeki got back here to real life.
That was such a low percent, and I mean, Umeki was making an incredible comeback, was down an entire stock. We saw that item play, especially at the ledge on the right side. That turn up, the basic turn up, does so much damage, and you saw Umeki kind of just cover so many different options, cover so many different spaces, but at the end, Zomba was able to claw back, get the job done, the back air, tried and true.
Zomba, again, like, he is going to find a way to land those more often than not, because that is, like it or not, that's his signature, right? It kind of goes back to that Team Fundies, right? That there aren't combos in the back airs, but it's a really good move for callouts, and that is the exact play style that Zomba tends towards. That's why he's become so notorious for it. But now for Umeki, right, it's time to think. You're not going to have counter pick advantage if you do push it to a Game 5, but you have to consider where you want to take it now, especially since you can't go back to Town and City where you were so effective. Right. You now have to decide, am I going to try to scrap with Zomba, who is one of the best initiators in Smash, or am I going to try to go to a bigger stage, maybe go back to Pokemon Stadium 2 and really just try to match him pace for pace and not get hit by that back air, basically?
Right, because I wonder if Zomba actually banned Smashville. That could have been an option that was banned. I'm not too sure. You only get one ban here, and it's full DSR. So
if you've won on a stage, you can't go back.
Yeah, and that's like the entire set. So there is modified DSR, which is the last stage you want on, but this, again, especially with these best of fives, DSR is going to take out a lot of these stages, right?
And again, it's going to force you to play, like, your opponent's going to get some counter picks.
Some strong counter picks.
Your opponent's going to get some strong counter picks. You're also going to get some strong counter picks. And, the rule set is what it is. It's going to favor inherently, no matter how you build it. Some characters are going to be a little bit more favored than others, right? You think like, oh, now I'm going to have to go to a stage that, I really never want to play with Peach or with, my main, right? But that's just kind of the way that rule sets end up being built, and trying to find that perfect balance is so hard. But fact of the matter is, when you're playing in the tournament, you have to work with what you're given. And right now, Umeki is thinking, look, I just need to maximize my punish game more. If Zomba wants to play on a big stage, and if he wants to take control of that space, that's fine. But I need to make these openings count.
Great conversion going into that float, into the Nair, coming down instantly here. Now Zomba getting the offense started, going for the laser, covering the spot dodge here. Bunch of different scrambles. No one able to get too big of an opening here.
It's hard to convert off of those scrambles, too. Like, most people's instinct is just to say, I want this guy away from me. Like, I want to get back to a position where I can think about what my game plan is going to be and how I'm going to approach this person. But Zomba right now, able to land the grab, able to start up this juggle, committing a little heavily, I thought, but then drifting right back in with that forward air to cover the space that Umeki tried to make up. It really goes to show just how keen Zomba is on his character. Umeki, on the other hand, not the best TI on that up air, and will take an early exit from that first stock.
Ooh, tried to get the up special. The parasol off the top there. Not going to connect, but yeah, I mean, the cross-up DI on that up air, you will get KO'd at much earlier percent. So what's the punish here? Goes into the back air. Yeah, the corner carry with the recatch on the turn-up. Still not enough, but still was able to get a good amount of damage. The up smash out of shield, not quick enough with the jabs, able to make it a little bit safer.
Ooh, speaking of safety, though, Zomba trying to get back to the safety of center stage. Umeki calling him out, but just a little bit off on the spacing. Up smash not going to be able to connect into a KO off of the sour spot. There's a scramble where Umeki comes out on top, and that's exactly what we expect out of Daisy, right? When she's up close to you and you whiff a move, it doesn't matter if it's in intent, she is going to get big damage. That's exactly what Umeki's got going. 93 off of that one hit, and 80 of it was guaranteed.
It doesn't opt for a turnip pool, just tried to get that down air into forward air. That percentage looking real good, able to snatch up the gyro as well, crossing up, but it doesn't matter. The up smash gonna catch Umeki in the skies here.
Poetic, too, that Zomba called Umeki out the exact same way that Umeki called him out earlier, right? And Peach is not always going to roll. Sometimes she's going to commit to some float movement above you, but Zomba able to react and call it out in time. Taking control of this game once again. At 158 off stage, Umeki has shown some really good ledge trapping, but is able to do it now as well. I was going to say not always able to finish his plate on those ledge traps, but is able to there with that back air.
Yeah, and I mean, the crazy thing is when Rob does up B, the hands come up, right? So I think Umeki kind of caught Zomba going for the up B to ledge there because the hurt box. Oh, we got a big combo though, already 84%. Great stuff coming out from Umeki with the turnip in hand.
I love him cashing out with that nair too because it sets Zomba up on that side platform. You do get an advantageous state. And now with the Rob at 113%, you can just keep on chipping away at him. This ledge trapping, again, has been so good from Umeki. And there's that timing mix-up with the forward air. Umeki clapping it up for himself. And I know the Japanese Twitch chat is popping off for him as well because, Charles, we're going to another Game 5.
Back to back to back, man. These sets have been so fantastic here at Port Priority 8. Umeki, I mean, we're not seeing the crazy, we saw one conversion into a KO, but honestly, the consistency of Umeki's combo game, extremely impressive. How many openings we saw? 0 to 80, 0 to 90, right? Just utilizing the whole entire stage, then comboing off the platform. So fantastic stuff. The damage output on the side of Umeki is incredible.
You really just do not see consistency in complex combos like that all the time with a lot of characters, but we talked about it. Umeki's one of the most technical players out there, and he was doing those kinds of combos with Smash 4 Peach, where this kind of stuff was even harder than it already is in this game.
Yeah, Umeki was known for being able to do the infinite in Smash 4, which was like so difficult to do.
Unbelievably hard. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, just an incredible player, also very, very technical, right? A character like Peach doing all these combos, you're definitely breaking a lot of rules of the game to do them, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of small things that you have to do to be able to re-catch the items because there's a lockout. So, I mean, the APM is really quick on those combos.
And yet he is able to keep up. Battlefield is the venue for the Game 5 of this set. So Umeki is going to have to work even harder to put that heavy character in Rob into the blast zone with these. It is gigantic, especially from center stage. And I think one of the things we might see is Umeki getting more aggressive off stage because that's kind of going to be one of the only ways to get stocks earlier.
Yeah, I think this is an incredible pick coming out from Zomba. He did go up 2-1 in the set, and Zomba clearly knew exactly what stage because we went in the Game 5 pretty quick. So great plan coming out from Zomba, honestly. Like you said, the biggest thorn on Umeki's side is when Zomba's able to get to like the 150, past 150, and just Umeki can't land a KO and just gets hit by turnips over and over again. While Zomba, that bear is so active, so powerful, right? Oh, that up air is going to do it.
And yeah, Rob does not really struggle for confirms off the top, even with tall blast zones. You saw it exactly right there. It wasn't even a combo, but he was able to get that call out on the air dodge, setting up that situation so intelligently. And look at that, not even trying to get aggressive to continue the ledge trap. He says, I've got the lead right now. It's fine if I just land this forward tilt because damage is damage and he can't say no to that.
Yeah, Zomba doesn't need a crazy combo string for his damage, just an insanely solid advantage state, right? Just getting all of these resets, but Umeki firing back with a little bit of rage, 85%, but we've seen Umeki rack up that damage real quick, right?
Yeah, I mean, one turnip in hand is all he needs, but the question is, are you going to be able to find the time against Rob? Because you've got just an absolute storm of projectiles coming your way. Does finally get one in his hand, so now Zomba trying to knock it away from him, and he is in the corner, so Umeki's not going to be able to take it super far and actually dropping it off of that down air.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we were going to see some crazy conversion off the side there because, I mean, you had a turnip in hand and a ton of time. Umeki's still getting a good amount of damage on deck, though. 121, you got to avoid a lot of KO moves here. that Nair going to continue to rack up damage. Rob, with so much active moves, is really able to air-to-air Peach or Daisy so well.
I mean, even ground-to-air as well, right? Like, Rob just has moves in general that last a long time. And yeah, Daisy has like really good movement, but not necessarily the quickest.
Wow.
Umeki, though, with the gyro in hand, able to weave all the way around Zomba's edge guard, and now with a ton of rage, potentially had a ledge trap going, although I love Zomba's ability to just dance around these platforms to escape the pressure.
All right, and we're really seeing this game slow down to a crawl. Both of these players playing very safe neutral. Umeki sitting at 181%. This defense is incredible. These recoveries, immaculate.
Again, it is like a dance to just try to avoid anything, even just that sour spot in air, right? I mean, Zomba can throw out a bevy of moves to take a stock right now, but Umeki is still not making it easy for him. 203. I thought it would be harder for Umeki to take a stock, but now he's got the ledge trap out of nowhere.
Not going to pull a turnip here, just going to do it the old-fashioned way, gets the Nair. Now this time setting up this ledge trap with the turnip pull, floats over the gyro, 213% on Umeki.
And he is still being wary of those aerials. A little bit of a whiff does finally get taken out by that Nair. Umeki a little frustrated that he wasn't able to get his front foot out first and take that second stock. So he is on winner's bracket point right now. Zomba has a lot of options at his disposal to delete a stock quickly. But again, like you've been mentioning, Umeki has not been giving him those opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, mission accomplished for Umeki. You were down a lot of percent, and you made that second stock last so long that you just were able to rack up so much damage. A hard hit Nair Bear is going to do the trick here.
Neutral air, just like you called, Charles, brings us to, say it with me again, last stock game 5, right?
Yes.
Like, we've seen it so many times, we get to see it once more.
Game 5, last stock. Maybe we'll get last stock, last hit. Who knows? These sets have been going back and forth over and over again. Turnip in hand. All these items are out to play here. Who will have the best item control? We're going back and forth here.
Umeki juggling with down air too on that top platform, something that I never thought I'd say in my life, but here he is with the percent lead. Zomba on the juggle as well, trying to find his way down, but those platforms keep getting in his way. Umeki gets the turnip back in hand, but not able to get the solid opening.
Oh, and this back air could do it. Goes for the side B. It's still not going to connect here. Umeki, again, getting another great hit, but you need something way harder for Rob. Maybe the back air at ledge roll. It's enough. Umeki takes it. He moves on to the winner's side.
And he is all over the stage because that was clutch at its finest. Had to fight back against Zomba's counter pick, but he was able to climb that hill, take down one of the top seeds of the event, send him to loser's bracket, and one of Japan's premier tournament organizers is now going to top 32 winner's side.
Umeki doing, I mean, he had a very recent performance as well back in Japan, doing very well here, carrying that momentum from Japan here to Seattle, and incredible stuff coming out from Umeki. Like you said, one of the top seeds of this entire tournament.
And he took him down with, again, that last match, when I saw Battlefield, I was like, dang. Umeki has had a couple situations where he struggled to take Zomba's stock at reasonable percents, and now you increase the size of the blast zones, especially from the ledge where he keeps the game played. But Umeki changed up his game plan, and I think that's why he was able to take that game 5. He was so much more aggressive, not waiting for Zomba to make the first move. Even though Zomba's quite the initiator as a player, it was situations like that where he aggressed on top of him and was able to take the stock. That's where we got to see that pop off in its full glory.
Oh yeah, I mean, we saw Umeki really lock in on that second stock, right? The defense was immaculate coming through. And like you said, along with the offense, right, he was able to stretch out that second stock, the value of that second stock for so long, got Zomba up, because Zomba had to lead that game 5, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Umeki